Hey. You guys ready for more music yet? I could, okay, that sounds like a positive response. I was going to say I could just, step out. Karen, I don't know where you are, but if you hear a rumor that you're moving to Reno, I think that was my fault. I didn't say that, but I think I worded your introduction in such a way on the Facebook event that maybe I confused people. So, yeah. You've heard the rumor too. Okay. Well, maybe we'll just start a rumor that I'm moving to Portland, and they'll balance each other out. So can we have Justin Farron already left, but for my own edification, can we have another round of applause for Justin Farron? And Karen Ann, of course, who just led me up here. Check 1, 2. I feel like there was more low end in that mic like a couple of minutes ago. Is that my imagination? You could probably put it back. Uh-oh. Sounds like someone's having a good night back there. If I could reach up into the clouds and bend them to my will, well, I'd make an angel on a unicorn atop a windowsill. And if I tired of her beauty, well, I'd make her sing for me. And her voice would be just like falling snow. It'd put me right to sleep. If I wasn't so selfish, I'd probably be a better friend. And if I could reach out and touch your heart, make you change your plans, well, I'd steal the light from in your eyes, and I'd hold it in my hands. And what little I had to give, I'd give it all to you. And forget how taking is easier, and how love is rarely true. If I wasn't so selfish, I'd probably be a better friend. If I wasn't so used to losing, I might even win. If I could walk right into heaven and change the course of things, well, I'd make it rain most every day, but I'd give everybody wings. They say that rain makes sad songs, but if we could fly, it'd be alright. Hell, we might forget we're soaking wet in the simple joy of flight. If I wasn't so selfish, I'd probably be a better friend. If I wasn't so used to losing, hell, I might even win. If I wasn't such a goddamn mess, I wouldn't need excuses. No excuses. Well, thanks so much. And even though I can't really actually see any of you because of the lights, I'm really glad to see all of you. I hear you. I know you're there. So does everybody here know Joel and Zach? Good, because I want to give some sort of introduction, but I'm not good at that. So that's Joel and Zach, and you guys know them. So
that worked.
You know, it's funny. I was watching Justin Farron play, and he's really great at telling stories. They're rambling and they're funny and they're relevant to the song. And I think I was thinking about how I might be able to do that. I was a little bit envious as I was watching. I was like, I never do that. But I don't even know what my songs are about anymore. Like once they're gone, like once the thing has happened, I kind of just don't remember anymore. At least with the older ones, like, so the one I opened with there, I was off my first album. And it was definitely my first album, and there was no albums before that.
I think that means you get to legitimately make up a new story every single time you play.
Well, that's what I was thinking. But now, having already said that, it seems disingenuous, so. Actually, this song that we're going to open up with as a trio, it's probably about a lot of things, but I wrote it when I was living in Italy very briefly, and it was this little tiny town, and there was, roosters crowing and cobblestone and chimney smoke, and it's not about, none of those things occur in the song, but that's what I was experiencing when I wrote it. I remember it very clearly. This is a postcard from me to the future. This is a record of sound and color. This is who I am. This is what I see. These are the things that matter. And this is an airplane above the Atlantic. It's an illusion of perspective. I'm watching a boat slice through the water like an airplane through the sky. From the ground, it all looks different. The streets lined with houses, like scars lined with stitches. And if I can sleep for the next 9 hours, it'll seem like I never left it all. And this is a straight line into the unknown. This is the center of the spiral, and this is the place where all the paths I could have taken intersect. And this is the face that I can't forget, superimposed on top of yours. It's just the illusion of forgetting. She's still the shadow outside the door, and on the ground all the snow's collecting, and the street lights are dreaming in the gathering quiet. And if I can stay awake for the next 9 hours, it'll seem like the world was always this way. And I was curled up in my head beneath the blanket of malaise. Been bored out of my mind for most of the last 60 days. And I was tired taking naps, filling in the gaps, dreams of all the things I knew I'd never ever do. And so I made myself a promise, and I bought a pair of walking shoes. And this is an abstract of my intention. This is a statement of direction. This is an acknowledgement that everything I do is subject to judgment. This is a metaphor. I was a lyric. Yeah, the singer's eyes were welded shut. I was the messenger. I was the message. I was the rain outside my window. And the sound of the congregation singing as the tourists snapped pictures. The coffers were ringing, and if I can close my eyes for the next 5 minutes in my scene, like they were always mine to close. And I was curled up in my head beneath a blanket of malaise. I've been bored out of my mind for most of the last 60 days. I was tired of taking naps, filling in the gaps, dreams of all the things I knew I'd never ever do. Now I'm curled up in my bed and I've got my headphones on my head, dreaming about an open road, and the song is not done yet. And I'm still filling in the gaps with pieces of the past and dreams of all the things I still might never do. But at least I've got an open road and a brand new pair of walking shoes.
Band meeting. We're done.
Oh yes, hello. So this next song is off an album I put out in 2012 called Second Chances and Irreparable Mistakes. A little wordy. Hey, thank you. Are there any Kurt Vonnegut fans in the house? So there's a book called Mother Night, which is about a guy who worked as a spy for us, the U.S., us, during World War II as a Nazi propagandist, and became so good at it that he was it, and was later put on trial for war crimes, and then the book is his memoir. And anyway, the moral of that book, which is stated at the very beginning, is we are what we pretend to be, so we should be careful about what we pretend to be. This is kind of about that. I mean, not the Nazi war crime stuff. Gonna close my eyes and have a good dream. I wake up and kiss the morning. Gonna fill my head with autumn leaves instead. I wear my fear like a face mask. You couldn't hurt me with the baseball bat. Now what's underneath is nothing but a thin vestige of me. But hold on, you can't keep taking second chances. All this lack is what romance is. Just stay calm, and I'll stay calm. And I will mention you in passing, as if our ghosts were not still standing arm in arm. Possessions piled up in the basement, no way of telling where the days went. And it's a crying shame, familiar as your own first name. I'm gonna put on my shoes and hit the pavement. I tell them all my name is changing. I'm gonna share my bed with the morning sun instead. But hold on, I can't keep taking second chances. Only lack is what romance is. So lead me on and on and on, and I'll be kneeling at your bedside, ready to kiss you when you open up your eye. And the picture that I painted you, it was never quite a lie. Instead of painting you the whole day, I just painted the sunrise. Everything I said, I know I meant it at the time, but now you're standing in the dark, and I just wanna let you inside. But hold on, you only get one second chance, and it's not worth another glance. And I'm okay, and you're okay. If you never tell me different, I guess we'll always have the chance to walk away. Gonna close my eyes and have a good dream. I wake up and kiss the morning. I'm gonna fill my head with pretty words instead.
Mike, thank you for having 3 great porters on tap. That's just awesome. This is my first year of life drinking beer, and apparently I like dark beer now. I must have tried the wrong beers for 37 years. And you got a lot of good ones, so thank you. Aside from having live music, of course, in the community, which is way more important than beer.
Maybe as important as beer.
Well, with enough beer, you also can't have live music. This is a song about a girl in a war. I didn't write it, but I wish I wrote it. It's by a guy named Josh Ritter. Peter said to Paul, you know all those words we wrote, they're just the rules of the game, and the rules are the first to go. But now talking to God is Laurel begging Hardy for a gun. I got a girl in the war, man, I wonder what it is we've done. Well, Paul said to Peter, you gotta rock yourself a little harder. Pretend the dove from above is a dragon and your feet are on fire. But I got a girl in the war, Paul, the only thing I know to do is turn up the music, just pray that she makes it through. 'cause the keys to the kingdom, they got locked inside the kingdom. And the angels fly around in there, but we can't see them. But I got a girl in the war, Paul, I know that they can hear me yell. If they can't find a way to help her, they can go to hell. If they can't find a way to help her, they can go to hell. Paul said to Peter, you gotta rock yourself a little harder. Pretend the dove from above is a dragon and your feet are on fire. But I got a girl in the war, Paul, her eyes are like champagne. They sparkle, bubble over, and in the morning all you got is a ring. They sparkle, bubble over, and in the morning all you got is a ring. They sparkle, bubble over, and in the morning all you got is a ring. So we got a couple of new ones on the set list tonight that maybe a handful of people have heard, and definitely never with any sort of arrangement at all. I don't need that anyway. It's amazing. Like, you notice I haven't actually reached for my vodka tonic yet because it's that much closer to the ground, which as I'm bending to grab something, that just feels like too much work. So I'm just going for the water, which is like 6 inches higher. Oh, look at that.
I don't want you to go without alcohol. Come on, man.
You're going to put it back on the ground for me, though?
Yeah, totally. You're on the other side of the stage, man. And you're sitting already.
I feel like this is pretty lighthearted as far as Justin McMahon songs go. I want you to listen to the words of the song if you don't generally listen to words, and see, tell me if you understand it. I felt like it was. Now I'm all self-conscious about it because Joel doesn't get it.
I like the pretty melody.
I think that's the important part of a pop song. We just had this discussion. Okay. My love is not an accident, some hole I fell into. It wasn't dumb luck or divine fate that led me to you. It wasn't begged, bought, or borrowed, or given on loan. Yeah, you can keep it if you want it and add it to your own. 'Cause I chose to bet it on the dark horse show, knowing this was the alternative. If I had it all again, I would bet it all again on the non-starter for the hard win. grief is not a winter coat, no love a wispy summer dress. One's the predictable result once the other's left. There is no line item veto. You can't pick and choose, so take my love, and if you must, give it to someone new. 'Cause I chose to bet it on the dark horse, chose knowing this was the alternative. If I had it all again, I would bet it all again. Non-starter for the hard win. And I'd like to take the credit for all that I did right, hand you back the blame for what went wrong. But some other girl in some other place once said love is just a choice you make. I made the choice, I sealed it in a song. Yeah, I chose to bet it on the dark horse, chose knowing this was the alternative. If I had it all again, I would bet it all again. I chose to bet it all on the dark horse. I chose knowing this was the alternative. If I had it all again, I would bet it all again on the non-starter.
Oh my God, I get it. It's a metaphor about love. It totally is.
This is a love song. It's about love. You know, it's about being together in love.
What's it called?
It's untitled. No, this is called Together in Love. It's another new one.
I got tired of only tuning 6 strings, so I found an instrument with 8 strings. And
I got tired of standing around on stage waiting for somebody to tune, so I'm really stoked that,
totally.
that you picked up that instrument.
I do it for you, man. All right.
Go. This thing you fear, it's in your mind, so you can't outrun it. I can feel you tremble as you're sleeping. You say the past is past, well fine, but we can't outlive it. We just become it. Because we can't be in a room together and we won't weather the storm. You weather this bond could not be any weaker. If we're severed, it will never be whole as long as we're together in love. Together in love. Together in love. We both can love, just not together. From moment one, you knew the cost, so you can't unknow it. Your mind is made, your mouth still argues. You say it's so hard to bear the thought, you just can't unthink it. You can't forget it. Because we can't be in a room together and we won't weather stormy weather. This bond could not be any weaker. If we're severed, it will never be whole as long as we're together in love. Together in love. Together in love. We both can love. Never be whole as long as we're one. We will never be whole as long as we're one. We will never be whole as long as we're one. We're gonna be broken here together. We'll never be whole as long as we're one. We will never be whole as long as we're one. We will never be whole as long as we're one. We're gonna be broken here together in love. Together in love, always broken. Together in love, we both can love, just not together.
I think that's the first time I've ever played that ending correctly.
Did you guys see I posted a video of our rehearsal on the Facebook event. How many of you saw that? So I had to do some clever editing. Well, for one, that song ended with Zach going, fuck.
Loudly.
This is also a love song. Actually, a very similar kind of love song, only a little more gritty. That one, I feel like that song is funny. I don't know if you guys got that from it, but...
I was laughing the whole time. What she said.
Yep. So this is also off Second Chances. Any of you who don't have my music, I am selling it here tonight. You'll just have to get my attention after the show. It was never my choice. You were always my song to sing. I never had a voice. What you're hearing is just the wind in a hollowed out tree. In a field of December snow. There's no one around to hear, so no one will ever know that it's the same stupid, tired old story. It was never my call. Love was defined for me. I had no chance at all. Like a cog in some machinery, like a puppet on a string. If I dance for you, will you love me? And if I forget who I am, would you kindly remind me? Well, I don't believe a goddamn thing that you said to me, my love. And I took all that meaningless bullshit and I made up a melody. La da 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 da. Oh, I believe that you fell but you did it so carefully, my love. Upon closer inspection, I see that I haven't learned anything, oh, anything of love. Thank you. So this is a brand new one. Not many have heard it. It is called Not Yet Titled, which is different than Untitled. You figure that one out. That's not my job. My job my job is to be obtuse and vague and alienating, and then your job is to just accept that and pretend like you understand. Okay? Go.
So like marriage vows. Jeez. Wow. I didn't say that. I'm kidding. Justin Farron said it earlier. Come on.
Okay, I'll just tell a story about this song then. Is that okay? So this song is about, you know, like for like a lot of years you have your head like up, you know, and then suddenly you remove it and then everything is clear. That's never happened to me before. I mean, not that I've never had my head, you know, but I think what I'm getting at is that still, this is fictional. My head is still there. So, you know, this is just like hopeful. It could be this way. Hurry up, Joel, I'm floundering here. Moment in time, a place where you once lived. You draw a path on a map, you go back, it just doesn't exist. Can take photographs, postcards home, foolish attempts to prove it. You found it, you lost it, you held it, but you dropped it now. Now I know the reason. Yeah, now, oh now I see the truth. I've been so restless and so reckless, so misunderstood. I've been locked up too long inside of this little room. Frozen in light, a heart that you once held. She was yours for a time, and now her time is for somebody else. You can build a picket fence, bring roses, foolish attempts to tame it. You held it, dropped it, you broke it, you bought it. Now I know the reason. Yeah, now, oh now I see the truth. I've been so restless, so helpless, so misunderstood. I've been locked up too long inside of this. The walls are bare, the floor is clean. No clothes, no toys, no magazines, no light, no sound, no quiet breeze. The walls begin to fade away, the cosmic trade of night for day. You just stand blinking in a suddenly foreign place. Yeah, now I know the reason. Oh, now I see the truth. I've been so restless, so helpless, so misunderstood. I've been locked up too long inside of this, pent up so long inside of here, locked up too long inside of this little room. That was a little awkward though. I feel like I should know how to fix this. Yeah. So I'm gonna do one solo and then we're gonna close out the night with a little bit of a rocker. This is a song about a house. Thank you. Grandfather clock in the entry hall. He hasn't said a word in decades, but man, he's seen it all. Down in the basement, an old bandsaw reigns king of all forgotten things that meant everything before everyone moved on. Out in the garden, an overgrown lemon tree, and it's been so long since she felt anything but the wind in her leaves. And in the guest room closet, an army uniform hangs pressed and clean and ready Yeah, he's been there since even before the war. There's weeds in the concrete, and there's leaves in the pool, and the books on the shelves have no more stories to tell you. And the eyes in the pictures watch the clocks on the wall. They all speak their lines at different times, a world each and each a world apart. But if it's not too much trouble on this glorious summer day, could you hold us all up one last time and let us stand in the wake? And it's hard to imagine someone else living here, and I know you must be exhausted after carrying all of this weight for all of these years.
Thank you very much. That was a little too Elvis-y. I didn't intend that. Thank you. I'd like to invite my band back on stage now. You guys had no idea what you were in store for tonight. He probably could pull it off, actually, I imagine.
Zach could, definitely. Only like 3 chords.
Well, you know, Zach's tolerable. We tolerate his bass playing. He's growing, getting better.
Taller. Slowly taller.
Don't do that. This is a country song.
What?
Okay. Just pardon us.
We've built campfires, empires, cameras and tripwires, tombs made of marble, cities of stone. Now we can scream at each other from behind our TV screens amidst all the comforts of home. King of Hearts rides a march, lynched in the moonlit dark. All modern targets are just points on a map. All I can say is at least have the decency to knife a man in the back. This land is your land, neighbor. This land was made for me. This land is your land, and this land is mine, you see. We've got barricades and hand grenades, street corner lemonade, bridges and railways, CCTV, city walls, shopping malls, high school, city halls. The shit ain't cheap, but it's free. Spectrograph telescopes, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, 100 blank faces on the train ride home. Our beds are all empty, a white sheeted green screen. We still do our dreaming alone. This land is your land, neighbor. This land was made for me. This land is your land. This land is mine, you see. We carried our dreams across decades and miles, tracing our roots on a trail-worn page. Our eyes are like oysters, all handshakes and smiles as soon as we hit the stage. Henry Ford, Tracy Lords, electric garage doors, a sun-dappled front porch and a gun in a drawer. Picket lines, boycott signs scream from the sidelines. We'd rather be dead than be bored. All right, thank you very much. You guys are awesome for coming out. And thanks a ton to Joel Ackerson and Zach Turan backing me up. Justin Farron, again, give it up. Karen Ann, all the way from Portland, give it up. And if anybody doesn't have my music, I'm selling it, and it costs what you have in your pocket. So, Doug on sound, yes, and Mike for managing the event. He's the guy at the door, behind the scenes. These people making everything awesome. Thank you. Okay. I didn't plan for this. I don't even know what to play for you. Can I do another country song? Okay. This is called Nothing New. You need a picture, just someone with like really cool hair that doesn't actually belong on a country western sort of dude, but like all the country singers now have this just fantastic hair. So picture that. I don't know when that transition occurred, but it's weird. But I'm still a little envious of them. Oh, and I don't have a hat, which they don't even wear hats anymore. I got boots. They're not cowboy boots. Well, you got to learn to toe the line. A bated breath, a baited hook. You gotta smile with your eyes like an underwear model with inner sights. Come hither, look. It's all been said before. In a manner of speaking, you can only sell what's already selling. And if you don't know it by now, you never will. She was a small town girl from Westmoreland County, and all she had in the world was a little shoebox cash in the drawer of her vanity. Map of the interstate, 70 westward toward the ocean. You can only buy what everybody's buying, and if you don't know it by now, if you don't know it by now, well, then you never will. Billy was a hard-working man. He spent 8 months of every year working on his tan on an oil rig off the coast of Algiers. He married an actress on a Hollywood vacation. You can only dream when you're sleeping. You might swim above the surface, you might sink into the sand, a pebble on a riverbed, a solitary man. And they might write about you someday, they might sing it from the stage, but you can only read what's been written on the page. And if you don't know it by now, yeah, if you don't know it by now, come on, if you don't know it by now, then you never will.
Thank you very much. I wasn't prepared for an encore, but that was really cool. Thank you. Have a good night.